Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Robbo's here, yes. Craig as well. Mario, where are you? I saw you on your Instagram. You're at a Christmas market. Where was that?
Amsterdam. I was in Den Haag that time. Den Haag, there was like a Christmas market there.
Oh, very nice. You don't seem that excited about the Christmas market.
It was kind of, it's chilly then, I know. I like sunshine, but family keeps me here.
Oh, I'm sure you have great fun to be around at the moment, Mario. It's like going out with Robbo.
LA's a bit chilly at the moment, I suppose.
Oh, that's not nice, is it? That's not nice.
What games are you doing this weekend, Robbo? Or this week? Champions League?
Champions League, I'm doing Girona, who we said weren't very good against Real Madrid against Liverpool tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then I've got La Liga at the weekend. Barcelona versus Leganes, I think.
Oh, beautiful. So, there we are. Good.
Leganes.
Leganes.
Derek will be on to him. How do you say Leganes in German?
He's been banging on about Derek putting you in your place, Robbo. He's not happy about it.
Oh, I know. The response was, Derek said to him, just do your homework, Craig, because then you'll find out that it's Bayern München. That was his riposte.
There you go.
He's the only one.
He said when he commentated with you in Scotland for all those years, you were good, you were keen, you were enthusiastic. Where's it all gone wrong? Wow. That was his words.
Where's it all gone wrong? Is that it with me?
I'm here.
Exactly, with Dan.
No, but I was a little disappointed the way Robbo, very experienced broadcaster, capitulated at the first Derek Ray, knuckle getting wrapped.
Get in trouble. Yeah.
Bayern München, my backside. What does it say, their name? How does it finish? Does it finish in München? Bayern Munich?
I don't know.
It says Munich.
I haven't got time for those sort of things. I could ask Mario a question. Mario, this month marks 5 years of Mikel Arteta, 5 years as Arsenal manager. Should he be considered success or a failure?
Oh, I think it's still no. Look, I know we all talking about he has to win a trophy, but the way Arsenal is, the way they're moving now, I still think he is part of success. The only thing now for the last little piece to add, he needs to bring that league home for them, because that will make a hell of a difference and that makes his journey complete. But now I cannot see him as a failure. No, I don't see him as a failure. I think Arsenal have shown us, over the years, I think they didn't win it, but we also have to be honest, show respect to City, because they were extremely good. So if you then can become second, I cannot call you a failure.
No, it's a bit harsh, isn't it?
What?
Call him a failure after 5 years?
No, he's manoeuvred...
They're trending in the right direction.
He's manoeuvred this squad into a challenging position, which is what you're trying to do. Now, in 2 or 3 years' time, if we're, or whatever the time frame is, if we're still having a conversation about them unable to get over the line, then maybe then it's a little different. Particularly if Arne Slot comes in this year and takes a Liverpool side that were, let's be honest, fell off the pace last year.
Yep.
And if he comes in and wins the league, then that is going to turn the eyeballs looking at Arteta and go, what are you laughing at?
Turn those eyeballs. Speaking of Archie Slot, Robbo, is there...
Hold on. Archie
Slot. Yeah.
See, karma.
Is there more than a case to be made that Maresca is the manager of the year so far and not Arne Slot?
To a certain degree, because Maresca was taking over a team that we thought were going to be halfway up the table. We saw them in pre-season. They were an absolute mess. They were a mess under Pochettino because he couldn't quite get his way. There were too many players. He never knew what the best team was. They weren't playing particularly good football. It was too slow. It was too pedestrian. And Chelsea looked as though they were going nowhere. So Maresca has come in. He's stamped his authority on the team. He's got them playing much, much better as the course of the season's gone on. So I think he's done a fantastic job, and he's had a bigger improvement on his club than maybe Arne Slot has had on Liverpool.
Mario, if you're a PSV, do you bench Luuk de Jong and start Ricardo Pepi?
Ooh, Pepi. I think he's scoring some good goals. I think Luuk, he's been scoring some goals. He's been doing really well for them. But I think Pepi, if I'm right, he's younger. So eventually, Luuk, you will go and sit down, and I will start making Pepi play, because I think they're both in that scoring moment. So and also in the European level, you saw Pepi scoring important goals for them. But I think yes, I will do it like that. The older one will eventually have to sit down for the younger one.
Craig, would you trade Having represented your country at a World Cup for a Champions League winning medal.
That's tough.
Yeah, you're giving it some proper thought there.
What he would change is to have his hair dyed blonde against Romania, wherever it was against, and he'd have worn his teeth for the photo against Brazil.
Yeah, and not getting sent off.
I need a haircut actually now. I might actually. I need a trim. So I might have it blonde again.
Right. Don't do that.
Well, look,
that could damage the hairs that are left.
It's growing in so fast and thick. I can't control it. Do you know? Of course, every player would want to win the Champions League. Of course. But as a kid growing up, right? And you know, I always pipe on about the 1982 World Cup.
Mm-hmm, yep. The videotape.
It was in VHS at the time. Watching Socrates and Eder and Zico, and they went out to Italy, who won it, and just watching these World Cups as a kid. That's what I wanted to do.
Right.
And I was able to play in two major championships, the European Championships in '96, and luckily enough for me, the World Cup. I wouldn't trade playing in a World Cup, particularly as we got lucky enough to play in the opening game.
Yes.
Against Brazil. In the Stade de France. No. I'd love to have won the Champions League. I never played for a team that was good enough. But I wouldn't trade playing at a World Cup. For me, it is just the pinnacle of the platform that is soccer. That is the pinnacle, to be on that stage, I think.
What about you, Mario?
Yeah, I totally agree with him. Of course you want to win the Champions League. You understand, I came close myself. You understand, lost games in the final. But the biggest thing for us to achieve as footballers is representing your country. No one can tell me we get goosebumps for both sides, Champions League. But when you stand with a jersey on and you hear the national anthem, I'm telling you, Dan, it's something that no one can ever take away from you, because that is what we all want. Stand there, national anthem. It doesn't matter if you hear it once, 2 games, 3rd game, 4th game. Every game you play, you hear that, your respect is there and you feel amazing.
That's very cool. Mario, Robert, you're not particularly patriotic, so where do you stand on this?
Well, I'm of course disappointed because in 1986 I was picked for 4 squads. Bobby Robson came to see me and said that I was going to play against Egypt, then Scotland, and I was going to go to the World Cup in '86. But unfortunately, I got injured and only played 2 out of the last 10 games of the season in 1986. So I didn't go to the World Cup. That would have been the pinnacle of a career. So, yeah, always disappointed and a little bit upset that I didn't go to that World Cup. It's a great honour for those 2 players to have played for their country and been to World Cups as well.
It's not just I've got my Panini sticker actually from 1986, the World Cup. I think I could have had Robbo.
People don't
You're
really
fascinated by my story?
Understand, not really.
Got Steve Nicol in the Scotland squad.
Yeah, well, you're a bit of a stalker.
I was 6.
Still are. I think people realise it's not just the games, whether it's 3 games or 6 or whatever. It's not just the games. It's the occasion and it's the build-up and it's what's around it. For example, '98 was France.
Exactly.
The whole tournament was contained in France, but it was the months and months build-up, the preparation, the squad, the hotel, the spending time with all your teammates, then the pressure of the games and the world watching. It's the whole package for 3 or 4 weeks. Champions League final is great. It's a huge elite level tournament game, but it's there for a day and it goes away. Mm-hmm. The World Cup is just such a big occasion when you see all the different fans from different countries swarming into these cities and the colours. It's something that any player, and I don't understand some of these players that don't want to play. Some of that, we've had players before that don't want to play for their country and can't be bothered doing this, and they miss out on these things. And other people are, like Robert said, he's desperate to go. I'd never get that mindset, because the whole thing around the World Cup as a player is just amazing.
Robbo, can you see Arsenal and Arteta being stubborn and not signing an out-and-out goal scorer this upcoming transfer window or in the following windows?
He is stubborn. He always thinks that he knows best, and if anybody tries to tell him different, he'll have an answer for them. I think he'll just stick with what he's got at the moment. We all said that they should have bought a centre forward at the beginning of the season as an alternative, as a main striker, someone that was good in the air, so crosses could come into the box if they were struggling in games to create. And we were talking in the show about Havertz. He uses Havertz to create an overload in wide areas sometimes, or an overload in midfield, which means the centre-forward position is sometimes unoccupied. That's what he's got to change, I think, for them to be the title contenders.
And they're not going to do it in January, are they?
No. Well, who are they going to get?
Well,
Isak's not going to go to Arsenal.
Well, part of their problem when he first went in there was bad recruitment. Now, you may argue Jesus and Zinchenko and Havertz are not the best of the recruitment scenario because they haven't played brilliant. But I'm talking about big fee, heavy wages, terrible. And the last thing they want to do is have a panic up and go out in January and splodge on somebody, and then they're back in that scenario where they've got players they need to get rid of. So they're stuck with what they have for now, I would imagine, and at the end of the season it'll come out in the wash. Whether that's going to be enough, at the moment it looks maybe unlikely.
Final question is for you, Craig. Nottingham Forest were heavily criticised for their transfer strategy of signing so many players when they were promoted. Have they proven it to be successful?
No. It's a bit like Chelsea, where the manager's gone in, he's figured out the ones that he wants. So we'll take Enzo Maresca. He upset a lot of the senior players and fringe players in the summer by basically, I don't know exactly what he did, but he...
Who was that? What was that noise? Mario, man! What's going on?
I didn't do anything, man. No, never. Never in my life. No.
So Enzo Maresca basically said to a lot of these players who thought they were going to be part of the plans, you're not part of the plans, right? You're over there. Go and train on your own, or train with the reserves like we used to do in the old days. Train with the kids. Do whatever. This is my core group of players, and these are the guys that are going to hopefully get me to where I want to go. I think it's similar at Forest, where Nuno Espirito Santo's gone in there. He's figured out the ones he can work with and the ones he can't. Just because you have a 35-man squad or whatever it is doesn't mean it's the right strategy. A manager goes in, there's probably 12 to 15 of those players he's got no interest in. And I think that's what's happened at Chelsea. I think that's what's happened at Forest. He's figured out who he can trust, who he can't trust, who's going to do a job for him and who's not. And thus far, it's been quite successful for him. What are they up to? 5th? 6th? You no interest?